Look at it, Heat. They're already just looking to try and push straight into mid. It's going to be a brawl within the first few seconds, and already Cena and Zeke have put themselves in that advantage. For now, though, we're going to see them split again. Morris has managed to come in from behind. The shot's connecting and actually drops the spike. Although they've been isolated by the Sage Wall, this now becomes a little bit more awkward for the side of Acend. And they are in a 3 versus 2.
The fact that he's playing a Killjoy means that he might be going on those lurks a bit more. He usually plays the duelist and is playing the tempo like a duelist despite being on a very different age. And MW0 has the recon that just coming online, has been sort of playing in that kitchen position. Burris might have got more than he bargained for, and he still makes it work.
See, this was something we wanted to talk. Everything I was doing before. That was a lie.
Yeah.
Because he has definitely switched his agent for this one, as he's moved away from the Reyna and gone on to the Killjoy. I'm going to say for now, it doesn't look like he needed the dismiss because he just killed the majority of the enemy team anyway.
And that was the concern for Mirrors in particular, because, like...
But the time is ticking. And a pretty good position for Joe to try and at least do a little bit of extra damage. He's just going to fall back, not opting to take too many risks here. And MW0, well, he's doing a lot of damage. They're going to get themselves the plant. It's not too bad for Acend, making some extra cash. Okay, yeah, there we go. Making some extra cash and only
does. Just seeing if he can catch any players. Look at this movement though from Heat. He's just jumped onto the spot. Bone Cold at least catches him, and MW can take out Sened at this point. Starzone now trying to up this tempo. The trades are good.
No, incredibly good. It's left just on to Bone Cold, and he can't get anything done. A bonus round victory.
Vivo Keyd don't want to take that risk, and they can't because Zeke is still going to push. Morris does eventually take him down.
Yeah, but he's wasted enough time. The rest of the team set up ready and waiting. Sened's operator will put a second in the grave, and
one enemy
well, this round in itself is looking grave. A cleanup for Acend. Finally, they make it onto the board. The rotation so far from Vivo Keyd has been spot on. They've got pretty much every player ready and waiting, but Zeke's Empress allows him to not only find that opener, heal up, and escape, and Sened has just popped one more. Acend starting to roll into this A site, finding every single kill, and they're even looking to potentially try and hunt down the remainder.
Not likely to use that Blade Storm just for an eco when it comes up. Had to buy up that operator again. So saving these guns is important, so Acend are doing well here. He can just keep chipping away. It's not like Acend have been winning streaks of rounds in a row. Their economy is going to be okay, but not ideal. The fact that Sened versus Heat is going to be interesting in various ways other than who gets the most kilograms.
The timing here is going to be everything. They didn't spot out Heat, and he's already taken off 2 heads. Not the start that they were looking for. Fury are just patiently waiting to see if he attempts another. Tagged him, but Bone Cold will survive. This should allow him to Heat, though, is just connecting everything, put into his crosshair, and you can see the confidence. He's running straight in. He spots the man at the back, but Bone Cold takes him down. Still a 2 versus 4 scenario, some weaker weapons on the remaining players, so there is still quite a lot to do. And Bone Cold, he might catch a player with the outro now, a free kill for him at least, but his teammates being pressured. kyedae needs to stay alive, and actually his pit's about to drop. Players low on the other side, a chance to try and clear them up, but it will be Mures to put him in the ground. Vivo Keyd, quick push through mid, wall to isolate 3 players actually looking in this direction though. A good opportunity for Morris, but he's taken down almost instantly. Still though, a couple of other defenders, and along with Bone Cold's Hunter's Fury, this execution looking a lot better. They need a response and they need it soon, and while Heat, this time, I don't think there's a hero to be found. Through from him, and they win this one with 4 players alive, so any chance of really destroying that economy that could have come through from the last round.
Dapr likes to do it a little bit. Popped up onto the high ground. Bone Cold with a recon that's going to see if any players come through on rafters, and it's just been watched keenly. This is a really nice post plan from Acend, but Vivo Keyd still in it, dedicating the res as well. It's just Murray's left.
Oh, Sened's going to walk into him. Turns it into a 1v2 scenario. He's getting smashed with utility, but doesn't take much damage from it. The tap, and he actually gets the conversion! This man moves on to the Killjoy and find every...
That's a hard round to come back from. And you didn't really expect Morris to be able to do that. And even just like the utility from Bone Cold and kyedae to try and like the shotgun down.
Yeah, the worry for me is that that last retake only worked because of a clutch. Now sure, this is a completely different scenario, but Acend have done well for the most part in these scenarios. The lurk play as well from Zeke is already going to shut down one, and they expected him to leave. Instead, Starzone sticks around! He's going to pop the head of 3! 3 and leave just one man standing. He doesn't care that he's been detected.
No.
Okay, it doesn't matter. He gets the first one, but he's got 4 more to find, and Zeke is lurking behind. What a round from Starzor. Pop off. You're going to be looking to try and get that Blade Storm. So they fight both sides of the map. One side with the drone, the other with the passive players waiting. CNED, who's going to expect him to be there? Like, he is peeking out off the back of his teammate's screen, going just that little bit deeper to allow him just a bit of space. And that's enough for him to basically shut down this round. There should be absolutely no way back into this one.
And just the fact that he didn't repeat from the same angle, he's still going for these fights, but just changing it up enough. He's intelligent to know where he could see what on any given position. Whilst he loses that, well, he doesn't lose it, but he doesn't get the kill in that first fire whilst he's playing on stairs. He backs off a little bit, catches Vixen. I think they know where he is, roughly.
Oh, they definitely do now.
They had an inkling before.
Well, him dying doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's a prime game. Viper's pit ends up actually just being their own teammate. That is an interesting pit, though.
Yeah, and Zeke actually leaving the operator on the ground, so he can switch and swap it.
However, you can see Joe's just started like calling to his team. They're actually on B. You've gone A. They're planting here. I'm on my own. Is he about to get shot in the back? He is. Just had no idea. They've been completely confused, bamboozled by Acend, and it leaves just 2 players left, Ryan, to try and bring back a round where I'm sure they just want it to end.
Yeah, and even the fact that MWZ had to use an owl drone from so far out to clear kitchen. Now that's the area that Keyless is in. Vixen in a 1 versus 5. I love that Acend used that.
Oh no, that's heartbreaking. Prime Gaming flawless to close it out though, Ryan. And
screen as well, which is purely retake. So Morris is going to see this go. Maybe the site's completely open because usually you see that toxic screen go up to try and retain the site. Zeke thought he was big braining, but Heat there just on the high ground catches him out on that crossfire. Lovely play, but that utility's already set up from Acend. They are going to have to meander over. And with Morris still alive, I wonder how much he's lurking, because right now he's just planted face first into Ascend's sightline.
Oh, this is aggressive already. They're going to get things back into a more even scenario, and it has to be the fallback of the opposing Jet and Heat. They haven't even managed to get themselves the spike down. This is a retake before they've even got the plant. Acend just come running through, and it's left all on to Vixen. It seemed like their game plan, at least, from Vivo Keyd was...
This isn't necessarily the smartest play for players like Morris to be facing up as aggressive like this kind of play. But if Morris wins that fight, he gets into the ahead of Acend. And if they start whipping shots, which, to be honest, we did see a little bit in Masters 3 of, I think that's the win condition of the day.
Yeah, this could become a little bit rough. He's got the ability to dismiss if he needs it. And, well, eventually it will come through. Starzo falls, so again, at least a player being dropped, but 1 death is not going to be too much of a cost for the defenders, and they'll find all the remaining. I'm wondering if they're going to try and counter all this. Starzo has his own that he might just look to try and peek out. They're going to already clear out 1, but with the rifles in hand, they should just look to spam it through, and the cleanup doesn't take too long whatsoever. A solid hold from the side of Vivo Keyd. Someone expected one straight through. Murray's leading the charge, and he's managed to get quite far. I don't know if they've realized that he's got all the way through, and Bone Cold's going to be the one to catch a bullet for it. Now Killers is in a horrible spot. Either has to face the wrath of the full team, or try and catch them on the way, and he does exceptionally well. Starzo even going to wall up over the top, try and battle them, but he takes the brunt of the damage. A 2 versus 2 scenario, and the lurk coming through from Heat is not going to be expected at all. It's left onto Starzo to try and bring this one back, and he gets nothing. Heat with 3 kills, scoreline equalized. Vivo Keyd
moved away. I think he was caught by the turret setup in the end from Morris. And now the Hunter's Fury coming through, trying to see if he can catch anybody. As another Viper's Pit's dedicated on the defense, the attack this side even. It's a bit of a mess, but Ascend coming out.
Yeah, they're doing well from this. That's just a triple, a quad spray down from MW0.
He didn't even use the recon dart.
He's just stood there with it in hand, waiting. It's alone, but you know what? I feel like this is almost looking like that tenz scenario. It's like, yeah, we've loaned him out, but they might just have to pay the big bucks, because these are the sort of plays that are making the difference.
Like the owl drone going onto A to temper some of that defensive aggression, recon dart onto the back of the site as well. And it is working, because Acend now are starting to try and make those hero plays. What Heat was punished with on the defense, now Zeke is, and Keyless, with that Sheriff wanted to try and surprise. It was cute, but Vivo Keyd are not going to fall for it.
They look strong, haven't really been making too many silly mistakes, and Oh, for now, they are going to lose the first. bonecold managing to find a kill. Starzo's found another one. The knives still standing, but they dissipate. A few missed shots here and there, and although it started to look a little shaky, Vivo Keyd will make sure there is no
one of the lowest in the team. He is the IGL, to be fair. And also playing the Sage, he is just... He's like FedEx with the spike. He's just
they got 3 superstar players. Like, does he need to frag? I feel like after the pause, straight after their opponents try and adapt, Vivo Keyd pick up the pace. They're going running straight in towards this site. Zeke's already dead, and it's Murray's again. 2 kills to open. Starzo at least is able to respond. The orbs already being retrieved. Maybe trying to get a little bit closer to that res. Joe is going to get himself another. Still quite far away from bringing a player back, but they might not need it at this point. CNED has found one, but a cost of a lot of HP. There is, however, a res on the other side. Acend would need to try and find a player here, and bonecold has been brought back, putting them in an advantageous spot. kyedae has found another, making this one look more than possible, but he still stands alongside MW0. These two have been unbelievable thus far. But now it's just on to 1. It looks like an impossible scenario. 10 HP to try and kill off 2. The shot dart isn't really going to do anything. bonecold tag, but it doesn't matter. It will be Acend to live to fight another day. And Vivo Keyd
resurrect if they need it.
And on the other side of things, sure, there's a couple of ults that are not far away. The Blade Storm, also the Empress, just 1 kill needed to get either of those online. They've got a lot still to do. Already getting spotting out. They've got this retake wall available. CNED is going to get 2 already. Looking like this is possible, but Vixen fighting. Looking to try and spray them down. It's left all onto Heat. The operator in hand. He's been spotted, but what is that flick? He's found himself one. Just trying to bait Zeke off the defuse, and he's already done it. Just leaving it down to this last player. A whiff spot, but he's buying time. And Zeke is just trying to stick it. Heat is going to close it out in the exact fashion we've seen from Vivo Keyd throughout this map. It will be the Brazilians to put the first number on the board again.
It up, and MW0 not phased by this at all. Knows that the spike's been planted relatively close to him, wanting to use this attacker's toxic screen to his advantage, but there's a couple of bait plays out, and Frenzy wins against Starzo, who was already pretty low health, to be fair.
Yeah, they've gone for this almost old school original strat of just getting yourselves that afterplant out through the bathrooms, but MW0 just looking to fight through. CNED will trade. You got the paint shell of Zeke making things more awkward. They've still got 3 players standing. They've used the utility that they had, but realistically at this point it becomes so awkward for the remaining players. Zeke with another, leaving it all onto Heat to try and pick them all off. This might just be to leave a snake in the grass. I think it's been expected, it's been spotted, and Heat is not going to fall for it.
Quite rightly, kyedae, I think this was one of the reasons why we saw Acend 13-0 in Gambit, is just that kyedae was able to get so many nice lurks, the utility posted towards the A site. He isn't falling for it. There's some Astro utility coming out just to break this execute from Acend. The Resurrect dedicated, and Stars are going down. It's just farming up for Heat and MW0. And it's as clean as you can really get considering the circumstances.
Duels to Heat, like as you said, sure, there's a few pieces of utility here and there, but if you give this man the opportunity to pop off 1v1, I think you'd bank on him to win the majority of the duels.
Yeah, like you know roughly where he's going to be. That's unfortunate, really. I'm seeing it with the start. I like this default, though. Things are slowing down. Now kyedae, again, like, knowing that there's going to be an element of bait out on the side, and Starzo using that dissipate nicely, and that was a dissipate from the side of Vivo Keyd as well.
Yeah, I don't think that Murray's expected that to disappear in front of his eyes. I don't think he expected there to be other players there, and now MW0 is the only one standing within this site, hoping to try and blind someone with the flash. Instead, it is Starzo with his triple, leaving just Joe. And those are the sort of plays that I do think that it is going to be 3-1. An early start for Acend. I think even though, as said, like going into this map, they're going to be feeling incredibly confident, always put it down to someone like Starzo. I think for me, he's the one that I would put to win clutches. That is a nice start. That's a Blade Storm gone as well. So although there is still an extra rifle here and there, it's not looking good in this round. That is, it's a stuck squid. It's on the beach. Not really getting anywhere, but the fact that they've still both gone in towards that B site gives away the information. There's only going to be one player here. This Stinger would have to pull off something pretty ludicrous. It's the range that might work, but kyedae is clinical and leaves just 2 remaining, and chances of anything are slim. I think Murray just has to save.
Yeah, and MW0 doesn't have that much. He almost gets the kill onto CNED. See a stack of players towards B. They can't write off A. Ever.
Through elbow. It's going to leave you with some isolated Jordan. Sinatraa. There's a little bit of a ledge. He can just swing out. This might just be the murder of every single member. But it's watched. He is going to connect the shot. It's left to Zika Bocold to try and hold on here. The Molotov falls, but it's actually only going to deny one. He's managed to find a second. It's already halfway ticked, trying to do it all. And the timing, is it going to be enough? Just trying to get the defuse through, and it's not. That Molotov just won them the round.
I would have assumed that from the last round that we just saw in these post plans, but the retake attempts have been decent for Vivo Keyd, just with these guns. Really, that's the only thing that's holding them back.
They're all spamming the box. It doesn't seem to matter though. This man is just landing every single shot that's put in front of him. Finally, Vixen will get him down, but there is just so much utility. This is why this composition is so ratty, that they're just getting wrecked by Molotovs, by snake bites. There is no way you're getting that defusal. Well, it has taken a long time to get this Viper ultimate online. It's been utilized almost instantly, but again, we're just going to see this run through almost instantly. I thought that was going to be the kill, but in fact, it's Heat that goes down. They will retain this extra control, but Zeke is just on fire. Again, he's going to just multi-frag them out of the round. This was a purchase from Vivo Keyd.
But considering this is such a high line defense from Vivo Keyd just because of these guns, it's really awkward to try and break through, and it's still having some modicum of success.
They managed to garner at least a rifle. Rez going to come through on either side, but there's also the orbital strike just to make it that a little bit worse. He has found another. This round looking at least a little bit better, and there's still one man waiting. Vixen. He's got to try and stop them here. A kill is necessary, and actually Bonecold doesn't have his gun out. He's going to be executed as he looks to try and run around the corner. Vivo Keyd have read this one excellently, but they need to make sure they convert it. Sentinels with the spike in hand. A nice hit from Heat as well, and leaving just that one man standing. He hasn't had to be the hero in any of these rounds so far, but this, surely impossible. 20 seconds, 4 players to find.
You're just keeping him locked in. If you can try and open up this site a little more, it'd be nice. But he knows that there's going to be a wrap round in that case. He's trying to pick up the spike. He's just been delayed perfectly. Not a bad anti-eco. Executing onto a site 5 players. Vivo Keyd do have some response. Just not the round you expected it to be on.
Yeah, I think as well the main thing I want to give credit for in this round in particular is actually just the read coming out from Vivo Keyd. Like, of course, he is...
This is again just like that no information that Vivo Keyd have, like already using that gravity well.
They both use Seekers.
Yeah. It was just very early utility coming out of Vixen. He has no clue. They're still going to try and fight it. And Morris, well, he's harder to move. Doesn't really have any more slow orbs. He's just going to try and stand and face and forces the teleport over from Vivo Keyd.
Oh, better from Joe. He's managed to isolate a kill, keeping himself alive, and Zeke hasn't actually been able to spot him, surviving at least for the moment, just hiding behind that utility, and the Viper finally comes online. 2 impactful kills that could make the difference to get them their 3rd round onto the board. Lots of utility. Actually, Cena's going to be pulled, but still manages to get himself the bump. The lineup comes through. It's Vivo Keyd at least getting themselves a small lifeline in this first half. But oh, no, they are. They're going to run it all the way back, but they don't know that the players are there on the cross. This has gone from a retake A to a retake B in a matter of seconds, and actually MW Zera has caught killers as he attempts to rotate. It's a bold strategy. I'm not sure if it was intended, because sending the spike through first definitely had its risks, but it has put them in an excellent spot.
Look where MW Zera is as well. Like, he's keeping Starzo in an awkward position, but knows that he needs to move away. He needs to help out his team in his post plan. And Bonecold, bit of parkour to help him get up onto the high ground. The flash is a bit awkwardly timed, makes it awkward.
What?
Vixen traded out from Zeke, and Starzo now holding onto the site. MW Zera blocked off by this wall. I think he can get around it though.
Well, yeah, he might have to at this point, because they're just sticking the defusal, holding it all the way, and no one gets there in time! Ascend, it looked like they were done after that rotation came back to be all the players in the right place at the right time.
Well, much like the utility being forced up, it means that Astra util is so important. Another bit going to be used, and now Starzo pushing through. This is what you want to see, just using our utility to peek out, catch a kill, and dismiss. And considering Vivo Keyd are constantly pushing through shot with no split, they don't really have a leg to stand on, even if this spike does get planted.
They're looking to try and hold them in position as they wrap back around already. Starzo finding another into the round. He's got Bone Cold alongside him, but the trades are coming back. It's left on to Heat again. A few opportunities in the clutch, hoping to try and Bone Cold is slowly making his way through, and these baits are just not working whatsoever. Zeke just holding the line, although he's been spotted, he has no idea that Bone Cold is in from behind. We spoke about his individual
Ecos or anti-ecos were particularly strong from Masters. They're going to have to really make it work now if they want to put Acend under that pressure. But this is just experience winning out. A little bit manic, but that's what you kind of expect from both these teams at this point.
And taking the advantage, CNED actually peeks back in off the edge of the smoke. Now we have seen at least a trade back and forth, but the fact is the spike is down on the other side of the map, so this attack currently coming in onto A is almost just to try and clear things out a little bit in Heat. He was so clinical in the last map. Instead, he's now falling to CNED a chance for the ace, but I feel like Joe's just gonna burn. Bone Cold with another Molotov kill. We've seen a few of those. And Acend hit their 12th.
Been zero showers pressure coming in for Vivo Keyd. They just 5-stacked through one part, and really, Acend are ready to just smash this one to bed.
He's just running in behind them, not even trying to slow down. He does a lot of damage, but doesn't take the kills. But even still, he's bought some extra time. The shotgun doing damage, but the trade's coming back thick and fast. And it's left onto Joe. He's being naded into oblivion. There is no chance at survival, and it will be that defusal. The map is done. Acend have dominated Vivo Keyd, and we will be heading into Breeze somewhat as expected. Is, and already here is tagged desperately low. Starzo, we're seeing him on the Viper. We didn't even really mention that, but that is not something we expected to see coming into this series. A switch up for quite a few different agents as the Sky goes missing on their side, and well, we know that Vivo Keyd, they like this more puggy style. These individual players looking to try and pop off, and this time it's Joe finding a couple, but again, it always seems to swing back into these 2 versus 2. The overhealed Murr is in a pretty good spot to try and find something here. Slightly whipped, but he gets one anyway. And now it's left onto those in-game leaders, facing off for who has the biggest brain, who can bring home this round. And Joe, he's in the spot to hold it, and he's going to find the headshot to close. 3 kills in the pistol. And win rate whenever you use a neural theft.
That's not a true fact. Just to be clear, we're joking. CNED isn't. I like this angle. It's just in front of where that lair's coming in from Murray. Is a good read
so
on
close,
how they
he's going to get him in the end. Just to spam through. Obviously, this is the bonus round for Vivo Keyd, but CNED has had enough of his opponents coming back. He's back on his jet, and he is slaughtering them. Only Vixen can put him in the grave. And while eventually Bone Cold is going to close out the round, CNED not only
utility was used, just standing in head of that Leah, dashes out, re-enters. Even if he doesn't get the kill here onto Heat, he does have that support coming in from Bone Cold, who has a nice little boost on his final kill. Intel information with those utility, like he has the recon dat ready, didn't want to use it there because he didn't want to give up the nice sneak up. And kyedae, he's prepared, just anchoring onto this site. Obviously he can get information himself, but not to the same level as Sova. And that gap has been exploited from Murray's, but luckily because Bone Cold did back out, he maintains the trade.
Well, they're committing a lot into this round. The Viper's pit will go through to give them that little bit of extra space, deny the aggression, and more so Heat is looking to try and play around the other side. Now, if he falls, this becomes a little bit more difficult. And actually, they really want to hunt him down, forcing him to dash out of position, at least clearing that right-hand side. And with Joe dropping, this becomes a little bit tougher. Now, Vixen's desperately low on HP, and he's kind of got stuck in his own ultimate. It's going to be left all onto Heat. Now, at least the pit will be dropped. He survives on 1 HP, but Bone Cold continues.
What you expect, but it means that utility has to be sort of thrown out. They really wanted to put Murray's under pressure. And it's even the operator that gets the kill in the end. Nice shock dart, snakebite combination, and the fragment catching him on the get-go, but still, Vivo Keyd are holding on.
Zeke trades things back, though. Both players isolated within the cave. They need to try and find a way to push out, and instead, Zeke's looking to push in. He's got Bone Cold spamming through, and although MW0, he has a chance! He's gonna get all 3! Again, this man and the multi-frags will pull through the Red Bull clutch.
Clutch, and that is exactly what Mura said that they wanted from this player. Like, we kind of know that Asoba's going to be the one that holds back, like even now, 5 seconds away from the recon dive if you wanted to play later, but we wanted
just like, you know who I am.
The peak as well, with all of that utility being thrown through. gets that information, but now it's a nice double bait. Starzo looks away at the worst possible time when it comes to that double doors control, and because of that, Bone Cold isn't really expecting somebody to be right in his face. kyedae is on this side, he's got a lot to deal with.
Doesn't get anything for it. Sentinels has at least dropped the Clutch King from the last. Shoot it, use that Viper's Pit, and they're not going to kill him off before it pops. This makes things a little bit awkward, but with Heat close up, he might be able to just kill them off before they go for any sort of defusal. They don't expect him to be this close, and it's left onto Sentinels. First shot landed, but the time is ticking, and it doesn't seem like there's any chance in hell he'll be able to hold on this time.
Not really an angle that you expect a Viper to be playing from. It's not quite ratty, it's out in the open, and Starzo, that's the kind of, even from his personality, he's that good at it. Now it's just a full rotation coming in, then the null command. Now suppressing abilities, but it's not really affecting Joe, and on that Cypher, he can maybe face a little bit more.
Oh, this is starting to fall apart, but Zeke finally steps up to the plate. He is still landing shots, though. Lightning fast reactions, putting this into a 2 versus 2. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
Got to try and clear out Zeke, and well, the Blaze Storm going to be popped. They want to try and isolate this duel. The timing going to be everything, and Heat lands the shot even while slightly blind.
Bone Cold again.
It is left into this 1v2. They are planting in the spot for Heat to just hold the angle. To clear this out is going to be incredibly difficult, and MW0, I think, has already spotted him, just trying to bait him in, maybe not expecting anybody to just be holding this cross. He gets the information and the tag through, but he, again, connects. Even on low HP, this man pulls off 4 kills. An empty site, it's starting to worry me.
When you have such a big map like Breeze, and you have 5 players up against 4, you really want to stretch them thin, and this is just a little example. It is up against West Weaponry. At least the trade is going to stop it from being a flawless round. And the retakes were okay on the A site. Awkward. He's going to be likely the same this case.
Oh, the 145. The most painful thing in existence. He's going to do damage, but grant absolutely nothing from it. And again, a lot of low players. But still, they're going to slow it down. And there is a fairly aggressive spot from Killers that they do have to watch out for. He'll have heard the footsteps. The flash is solid. And Heat is gone.
Keeler's just holding on to this column position. Toxic Screen actually being used to more control at A site. Really, the retake positions that Acend have been in have been such down to a player disadvantage that it's not really useful to hold on to those toxic screens for those moments. So I do like the fact that Starzo is changing it up a little more. Utility in various places, more anchoring towards A. And that's just because CNED is getting so much success with this operator. Can make it fall with the Recon Dart coming in nicely. Vixen is the last to...
Maybe one they won't be expecting to play against. Managed to find the tag onto Zeke, but he won't go down. However, Bone Cold has fallen. And because of that, we might actually see a switch up. Heat has found a pick on the other side as well, leaving
30 seconds left.
A few players remaining. Not in the worst of spot, but they're going to be pincered in. CNED can only land 1, and Zeke just trying to survive. They have been isolated 1 by 1 from the side of Vivo Keyd. A solid attacker side round. And well, what are the chances here for Killers? Completely out of position. A rotation versus a Viper's Pit, and 4 players waiting.
And we were saying, like in the other series, the round 12, Acend were the ones that were bringing out little curveballs. That's the first time that we've really seen Vivo Keyd presence in mid, getting that kill. And again, the timing to go through. This is now interesting. It's not done and dusted on the side of Acend.
This one over the line, Brian. Are you a believer?
We'll have to see this one. I said that this pistol's going to be important, and it certainly was going to be for Zeke. He's almost doubled the kills that he's had in the server just off this pistol alone in the first 7 seconds.
Maybe a hard read, but whatever it is, it's still worked out for Acend. The timing for MW0, though, couldn't have been any better. He's brought things back into a 3v3 and looks to move over to his teammates. The peek from CNED is also going to be dropped. Joe, he was quiet individually, but he's now coming up big for his squad once again. It's left on to Zeke. I believe he might even have to ace it just to take this one home, and it is not happening. A 3 versus 4 to a 3 versus 0.
To be fair, but all of these players pushing for double door. Hold it to see if they can catch a player on switch. I like the idea from Vixen. Just peek out, try and catch them whilst they're not looking, but it's a bit more tighter play from Bone Cold.
Oh, if you say that, he's about to lose his life. Well, eventually, Killers will be there with the trade, but this round is still not over. A 2 versus 3. any more kills than this, and
Spike planted.
it's far more costly than they would have liked, and almost caught switching to the rifle, but hey, the rifle's been collected. Still having a couple of orbs available to actually heal and dismiss. Mures could take this one into his own hands. Now the afterplant looking decent already. Utility not going to play a part in this one really for the side of Acend. It's more just those individual battles, the team play, the synergy, the crossfires, and while just waiting on the other side, it should have been an easy kill eventually will come through as Acend are back on the board with a 5th, but with the dismiss. But they have to watch out. There's a flank coming in. Killers could end this round in its tracks, but they're getting aggressive enough that they might be able to kill a few of the players before they come through. Vixen will land the shot as they wrap back around and leave this now onto just 2 players. The flanker, but more importantly, CNET. He's the one with the angle onto the spike, and he gets absolutely nothing. Just 1 player down, leaving it all onto Killers. He finds the burn, but he cannot close out Mures, who ends this round with a triple.
It's that crunch to come through. They almost used the Viper's Pit to his advantage. Yet again, it forces Acend to try and play forward. And Vixen, well, we were talking about these other like duelist players finding those kills, finding those frags. Now even the support players are doing the same thing. And Acend were expected. Joe is under a lot of pressure. I think Acend have it most. Joe is actually not afraid at all. He's got CNED with the plant. I think CNED's only had 2 or 3 kills on this attacking side so far.
It may not matter. It's already going to be the clear out heat going in, but it's Bone Cold who's bringing things back. 3 kills to save them. Keep them in this map at least as Killers.
Exactly
drops Vixen. It's left onto this new man on the block. The Loney that is quickly making a name for himself, but not in this round. Zeke will put him in the grave and give them, but actually it's only Zeke. Everybody else just waiting back behind, looking to try and push in alongside him. The flash is good, and he eventually, it's a laboured spray, but he gets the kill nonetheless. The spike yet to cross. So still not directly committed, but with 2 players already in, you'd expect them to make their way through, just waiting for the screen to be recharged. But look at this wraparound through mid.
Spike planted.
He also still have a bit of utility to throw in to try and catch them off. Mures is a bit of spray. Vixen trading up CNED. So again, it's this high line. Keyless managing to slip through. You need these kind of moments. And now what's Vivo Keyd's buy like?
Yeah, this is where they start to launch himself straight into the site and look to put the pressure onto Joe, and he's already gone. So much utility just forcing them back, although there is a trade. The Hunter's Fury actually finding a couple attacks here and there. He has managed to get another one, and this leaves Zeke isolated on the site. The remaining couple of players just trying to hold from the backlines. The wrap around from Bone Cold could be absolutely everything.
Yeah, that elbow control is going to be so important, but they really need to help out Zeke in this situation. There's an important kill for Bone Cold. Zeke is still holding on, but he is putting up the pressure. He's starting to try and cook the KO alive, but Mure is actually getting behind.
Zeke. One more, a 2 versus 2 scenario, and they have to clear this man from the flank. It's left all on to Zeke to try and close this one out, but it isn't going to be happening. It is Vivo Keyd that head through into the upper bracket, and Acend have already faltered in this tournament. They had a rough time when they came to Berlin for the first time.